Welcome to ZRound Manager, the Championship Manager from ZRound. The aim of this tutorial is to introduce you to the Championship Manager, and to show you how to create a championship, races, make inscriptions and to prepare the heats for running. Also, you will learn some tips about configuring heats and races. This is the ZRound Manager application area. This will hold different kinds of windows to manage racer database, championships and race control. The application menu lets you work with all of them, and also change application settings like scoring, languages, and club transponders. We have just installed ZRound Suite, so the system database is empty. It's time to fill it with some guys. We can open the driver's database from the main menu. The driver managing window shows you the list of the people that will race. You can add drivers by clicking on the Add button bottom right on the window. Let me add myself. You must fill in the form with following fields. License. This is an optional value which belongs to the racer. This must be a unique value from any racer, and you can use it to identify him along different championships. Name. Full name of the racer. Nick. Short name of the racer. It will be used by the announcer during the race. Ranking. This value defines the racing skills of the racer. The higher value, the best racer he will be. This is used to group people by skill when calculating heats. Transponders. Transponder number. Frequencies. You can provide up to 3 different frequencies. Group. This is an advanced feature which allows to have different groups into the same championship to have different scoring and classification. It is out of this tutorial scope. You can also add a picture and a flag from a file or from your connected webcam. When you select a racer, on the bottom area are displayed the races run by him, dates, points, etc. Let me add more racers. They will be useful later. You can edit the racer properties by double-click or by using the context menu. You can also delete a registered racer, but if he has results saved on a race, the application won't let you do it to prevent losing of data. Before creating a championship, let me show you some tips about what a championship means on ZRound. A championship is a collection of races. When you create a championship, you must provide a default settings that will be applied to any race you create on it. You can modify the championship properties anytime, but the changes only will be applied to the new races, not the ones done. Later, when you create a race, the championship default properties are automatically filled in, but you can add it for specific needs. After the race mains are done, you will have any racer scored based on their position. All points are summed to calculate the championship position. We will see later how you can discard the worst races to compute the classification. You can have as many championships as you want, but you always need one to hold a race. You don't need ZRound Manager to create a single race, but it is useful in order to browse results. You can create a championship by using the File or New Championship menu, then you must fill in the form with the desired values. This championship will have 5 races. The worst race of every racer will be discarded when computing the classification. We will use the heats and mains race format and the default values for this tutorial. For heats, we will run 3 rounds and have 4 racers on each heat. The heat duration will be 8 minutes and it will be staggered start. Each racer will have his 8 minutes counting from his first detection. You can set the race duration and time or laps to go. The sort will be done based on laps completed. You can define the sort based on best lap also. Training will be limited to 5 minutes also for each racer. Staggered start is used. For mains, we will modify the drivers on mains to 4 and the number of drivers pumped up to 1, so the winner on each main will run the next one. The main will have 4 racers and the best will run also a main which finally will have 5 racers. The main duration will be 15 minutes and the start mode will be Le Mans. Main duration can also be defined in laps to go. You can also run as many rounds as you want on mains, and you can define how many rounds counts. Always the best results are used. Please read the ZRound Quick Start Guide from http://www.ZRound.com to have details about what each parameter means and the race format supported. Once you have the properties defined, you must click on the Save button to have it ready. New pages are open to create races and to see the championship classification and best results. You can also give extra points to the pole position, heat winner, and the best lap on each race. Let we go with the first race. Go to the races page and click on the New button. New windows will be shown to hold all the race information. The first step is to name the race, fill in the date and, optionally, the track name used on report headers. The race description will be used as directory name to save the race-related files. You can see the default race parameters are the same defined when we created the championship. Usually all championship races follow the same rules, so you don't need to change any value. If you have time limitations, you can make heats or mains shorter or run less rounds. If the races are done on different tracks, maybe you need to change the minimum lap time and the time to complete last lap values. Use the Save button to register the race into the database and continue. New pages are shown. Driver registration and races. Once you have the race configured, you must register the racers who will run the race. The inscriptions are done on the next page. Driver registration. You can see here the racer list for this race. You can add racers by using the Insert key, the context menu, or the Register button at the right. The driver database will be open and you will be able to search for driver names. The driver will be added by double-click on the list or by using the Register button. If the racer doesn't exist, you can create from here. After the racer is on the database, you can register him on the race. You can edit the properties of the inscription by double-click on the record. If you change the transponder, ranking, or frequencies, they will be changed only for this race. The default racer properties won't be modified. You can have a racer running at the same time on two championship. For example, if you run different class the same day and you need to use different transponder and frequencies. During the race, if a racer needs to change this, the application allows to do it in one if the new values have conflict with other racer settings. Now pay attention to the ranking value. You can see the racers are sorted by their ranking value, so when the heats are calculated, the racer with close ranking values will run together. If you let it to 0, the inscription order will be used for preparing the heats. You have some buttons at right to manage the ranking. They let you zero the ranking for all, make a random sort, reload the default driver's ranking, and to put the championship points into the ranking. The last option will prepare the heats according to current championship positions. Once you have all racers registered and the ranking OK, you must prepare the heats by clicking on the Generate Heats button at right. A report will be shown with the heats created and warn you about transponder or frequency issues to help you to solve them. Then, we can go to the races page to see how the heat are generated, and to begin racing you can edit manually the heat members by editing the inscriptions. The heat value means 1 for A, 2 for B, and so on. If you change an inscription from 2 to 1, the racer will go from heat B to heat A. When you change the heat configuration, the application will search for conflicts again, warning you about them. You can add people even if any rounds have been run. In this case, you must edit the inscription after the registration to set the desired heat number. All is ready to run. Print the heat sheet and go. Anyway, it is essential you understand this ZRound quick start guide about important matters like race start modes, Le Mans, staggered, race formats, time limits, time to complete last lap, minimum lap time, etc. Out of the scope of this tutorial.